we're back, or more specifically, Hazbin Hotel is back after a 2-year wait time. The first 2 episodes of the season have dropped, and while my original interest for the show is dead and buried, my curiosity on how the story will play out won over me. Now, I'm just gonna give my first impressions and a few notes on things I noticed in episodes 1 and 2, so spoilers, obviously. So episode 1 picks up a month after when we left the cast, which y'all know how I feel about the fast timeline, but I won't lie, it was a good reintroduction to the cast and what's all been going on after everything. Every character gets a bit of spotlight, and we even see Lucifer has officially moved into the hotel, which I'm 50-50 on since Cherry is also at the hotel, and we get a new patron as well, Baxter, aka the new Sir Penches, so the inside cast just got bumped up to 8 characters, but we do see the hotel is packed with new guests and reporters trying to get an interview with Charlie about Extermination Day and like how they killed Adam and all that jazz. And we also get an insight into the V's and what their overall plan for the season will be, which honestly, this art that Viv made years ago should have clocked me in that Vox wanted to go and rule heaven. Plus, the whole he was an occult thing when alive wasn't too surprising, but makes sense. I do, however, question why he cares so much about his image in hell, considering that everyone is amped up to 11 down there. I mean, one of the background characters who is a fan of Nifty literally asks Nifty to stab her. Like, what? And we even have a reporter constantly ask if he should kill his wife, and it's like... What image is Vox trying to make here for himself that he feels the need to hide some of the more sadistic things that he and his staff do? It kind of gives me the feeling that he just wants to replicate what his living life was. I mean, he does hint to it. And the whole trust us stuff probably has to do with his abilities in some way, I'm not entirely sure. Also, the contracts are shown, though whether they're soul binding is another thing, as they don't look like it, but fingers crossed we learn how they work. But I will say I actually liked Vox this time around. He completely stole the show of this episode, though Charlie had the best animation put into her this episode. She made some pretty crazy faces, which I just love. But yeah, Vox was a lot of fun till the V's song, which I've seen people talk about it, and I know it's a 2-parter song and split with Come On In, but there are parts of the song that just don't hit right, and when all 3 try to harmonize, it's off, which I feel is probably intentional, since Vox clearly is all about himself right now, but Vox singing by himself and the piano part and the animation with it was great. You can tell the VA had a lot of fun. You can tell the animators had a lot of fun with this scene. I love this scene so much. And while the scenes with the V's was fun and made it easier to get to know them more now than season 1, the other part back at the hotel, yeah, like... No surprise here, the pacing was crazy fast, and while I liked that Charlie and everyone were still kind of grieving, it still felt off to me, as we don't know, nor did we ever see in season 1 how these relationships formed long term. Like, they expected us to care that Charlie's sad over Sir P's death, but she barely talked to him after his episode. Like, and of course it's Charlie, she's gonna cry over, like, any situation, so, like, she would have cried regardless if she was actually friends with Sir P or not, so it also makes me feel weird. However, though, Cherry I get, though kind of self-centered, she thinks it was just to save her, but yeah, that whole scene was just, I don't know, kind of weird. Charlie running all over the place and getting the same advice-ish from Vaggie and Lucifer was a bit much as well, which I only think they did that so we could again remember Lilith's been gone. Also, the gag with the reporters went on way too long, and honestly, Charlie should have just said what she needed to say sooner so we could focus more on Baxter and a few others instead of hopping from scene to scene. And don't get me wrong, I understand that her hopping from scene to scene is basically to showcase locations of the newly formed hotel. Like, we see her in the lobby, we see her I'm assuming in like a break room, so to speak. We see her in Lucifer's bedroom. We see her on the roof where we get to see like the overall aesthetic. You know, I get it. I get showing us the locations, but it was a lot for one episode, especially when we kept hopping from the hotel back to the V's, which is really funny because the V's also hop from scene to scene to scene, but for some reason it's more coherent, I guess. Also, I am kind of curious if the people who checked in left after hearing that the hotel wasn't going to be a Killing Angels place, because I really would like there to be actual background characters within the hotel. Whether they get included into anything is up for debate, but it would be nice to see some patrons just wandering around or like doing their own thing. I don't know. Oh, Also, side note, love the dynamic between Vox and Katie. I know he's not into her, but they got something fun going on. And while I don't like Brandon as Katie, I do think he nailed the jokes really well for her, which again, I should say the jokes were great this episode. I actually laughed quite a bit, though not at the angel getting hit playback. I don't get how that's supposed to be funny, and don't say they weren't trying. They used the yowie paddle in the clip. There's no way they didn't play that to be slapstick. Anyway, the ending with Emily showing up was fine and a funny gag, but when I explained episode 2, you might agree with me that episode 2 should have been episode 1 instead, especially considering that episode 2 is quite the banger because... Okay, while I said episode 2 is really good, it's mainly due to Lute's song, Gravity, and honestly just Lute overall carrying the whole episode, as there's a lot of confusion, I guess on my part, with a lot of things going on, because at the start of the episode, we are at Sir P's trial about how he got into heaven. Sarah is having a hard time believing it happened through redemption. Even a few other angels voice this concern, till we have the Speaker of God come down, which, side note, I swear Viv said God would not be included in Hazbin, so I'm not too sure about the name. Like, I understand the name in general because it is a reference to Metatron, which is an actual angel within biblical lore and even is like considered the right-hand man of God and is like allowed to be within God's presence. But I swear Viv said that God would not be included in Hazbin Hotel at all, so why they went with this name is beyond me. Anyway, the speaker has Sir P tell his backstory, to which he admits to witnessing a murder but does nothing afterwards, which I feel is a little unfair to send him to hell for, plus it's confusing for his character as well, that his only sin was being a coward when he was alive, but when in hell he went all mad scientist and, tried to become an overlord, possibly trying to kill a bunch of sinners in the process, or even get souls from said sinners. Like, the jump in character feels off, and yeah, there's probably a million reasons he changed that way, and again, we probably won't ever see it. I mean, we do have the whole Cherry and Sir P thing coming up, but it's like, we're not going to see his start in hell. But the speaker tells us point blank what got him in, and that's that. On the sidelines, we have Lute make good points about how the sinners now know they can kill them, and they should be worried, which, if this was episode 1, and we saw episode 1 right after this would just prove her point because of Vox. Also, kind of sad no one is upset about Adam's death, other than maybe Abel, which... he's so cute. Anyway, the rest of the episode is just Emily showing Sir P around heaven, and the song that goes with it is so fun. Though it does make heaven look small and like a weird city mall area thing, but it was nice to see either way. Now for the bigger parts of the episode, Sarah crashing out and Lute also crashing out. So Sarah speaks to the speaker and is kind of losing it over her decision on the exterminations, which, like, I get she's upset, that's fine, but I feel like she's forgetting that, again, redemption hadn't been proved and that there was no actual evidence of it being a possibility. Souls just arrived where they did, case closed. And again, in season 1, she makes a point that hell was rising at the time, so she had an actual reason for doing all of this. And again, Vox is kind of proving the point again, but I do like that she's confused on what to do and feels bad she didn't take Charlie's thoughts into consideration. Like, obviously, Sarah didn't believe in Charlie's idea or vision, but she could have just like humored her for the time being, or, could have done like a study. Emily seemed excited. I don't understand why she couldn't just placate the idea and just wait until like nothing happened. You know what I mean? Though her meeting with Abel and Peter was low-key silly and not needed, especially with her having Peter at the meeting. Like, why would she do that? Like, what about all the other angels at the trial, or the ones that made the barrier with her at the end of the episode? Why weren't they there at her meeting? Why wasn't she asking them for help? Why Abel or Peter? It makes no sense. However, though, her closing off heaven was a smart move to make. It gives everyone time to think and still be slightly protected till then. As for Lute, who honestly is just killing it this episode, her grief and pain is felt so hard, and while she's jumping the gun and wanting to go back, it was interesting to see how she kind of warped what happened, saying she endured what happened when, like, not really. You fought Vaggie the whole time and lost your arm to a rock. So, I also find it funny during her song, she references killing Vaggie to get back at Charlie, because she killed Adam, which, no, Nifty did that. Think, Lute. think. Though I will say the animation for this episode was top tier. Everything was smooth and paced well. Only a few spots did it kind of get weird, but that's animated dancing for you. Also, while I knew Lute being in love with Adam was coming, I still don't really feel anything about it since, again, we don't see their full dynamic or how she really felt. I mean, we kind of see some stuff, but you could argue they're good friends. I mean, she is his lieutenant, and obviously she's probably hiding her feelings, so there's that as well. But I do like that we got a concrete answer and how she viewed him to her as like the soul that completed her, which just screams Eve vibes. Not saying she is Eve, because Viv kind of already spoiled who Eve is even gonna be, so. But more so that she loves him like Eve was supposed to. But overall, Lute was great. I do, however, wish the glitch effect she was experiencing with her helmet was constant with her mental breakdown. However, though, I do like the noise that follows Adam, or like mental Adam around. I really like that little touch. But either way, great episode. Everyone was given time to breathe and do their own thing and push the narrative. The songs didn't have to fight for dominance. Plus, they were spaced out so much better than episode 1's were. But other than Sir P's reason for being in hell, everything worked pretty well. The jokes, though, not as great, and Emily was a little difficult to get used to since in season 1 she's not around a lot or speaks as much, and the part with Lilith I did not care for. I really do not care about Lilith right now. I wish she would just stay a full mystery, like don't show her at all until it's really important for us to see her. Anyway, these are my last few thoughts. Hands down, love the background gags with Lucifer and Alistair. It just fuels my shipping fire more. I also like how more cuddly Vaggie and Charlie are. They feel more like a couple right now. Though I do find it funny Charlie just ignores that Vaggie's an angel when reporters ask her a specific question. Oh, also Vaggie had really good animation in episode 1 too. Like her face was serving every single time, which I'm super happy about. I was also kind of hoping more time would be given to Nifty since everyone was so excited for her, but she got sidelined for Charlie's freak out a lot, and I know the next couple episodes will probably involve her more. But again, if we didn't keep going from scene to scene of Charlie running away, we could have had a nice startup on Nifty till her full episode. Anyway, I am curious to see how this all goes and plays out, as I've seen the synopsis for every episode and show point list, and based on what I saw, I'm still not sure the story is gonna end up being the masterpiece people think it is. But at the end of it, I did like most of what was shown. I can tell a lot was thought about in the critique department since most of my usual issues were tackled, though the sound design was a little messy for both episode 1 and 2, especially for Lute, but I understand not many people are gonna care about that like I do, so yeah. Anyway, though, I am kind of looking forward to the next 2 episodes, but I have been burned by this show before, so I'm not gonna say I'm fully on board with anything. But that's all I got. See ya, and happy Halloween!